What's the first thing you think about when you see this guy right here? I know, right? Total ladies man. You'd expect this super handsome, buff, strong, lonely guy to be the master of winning over the hearts of ladies. Well, what if I told you that wasn't the case? Oh, you'd believe it. Okay. Anyways, throughout my time as a person on planet Earth, I've been on quite a few dates. Okay, so maybe not quite a few, but enough to point out good ones from bad ones, and that's what we're going to be diving headfirst into today. But today, I'm going to be talking about the worst dates I've ever been on, hosted by me, the not-so-ladies man. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And yes, there will be cooking. Always stay hydrated before recording. My first date ever. So when I was about 13 years old, I started talking to this girl in my town over Xbox with my friends. Me being a kid who had only ever talked to a handful of girls was totally blown away that not only was I talking to a girl, but I was talking to a girl that played games. Sounds kinda underwhelming when I put it like that, but hey, at the time in a small town like mine, well, that was the most unheard of thing on the planet. So I started talking to this girl because she seemed pretty cool and we'd play Modern Warfare 3 together over the summer. We started talking to a point where we sent each other borderline flirty messages. I'm talking XD and ooh-woo, the whole 9 cringy yards. Needless to say, things were getting pretty serious. Honestly though, cut me some slack, I was a pretty emo kid back in the day. It's pretty cringy just talking about it now. Anywho. So one day I ended up moving to the not so lovely town known as Austin, Texas, and I had to leave behind my gamer girlfriend. However, we messaged all the time on Xbox, so it worked out right. One weekend in October, I went down to visit her so we could go on a super romantic date that only the finest and most proper people go to on dates. That's right, we went to the skate park. Okay, so this girl was a skater and all that jazz, and I wasn't, so to impress her I got this garbage skateboard at Walmart, which now knowing a lot more about boards and having a legit one myself is a fatal error. I show up to the skate park and she had brought along her friends, so I brought along mine, and it was this weird friend/date hangout thing going on. I don't know. Anyways, we didn't even go to the skate park initially. We just sort of sat outside of it and found this nasty old couch that both girls decided was really cool and hung out on, but that lives its lifespan and we decided to go into the park where we all started skating. Needless to say, it became very apparent I hadn't done this before and I was all over the place and kind of making a fool of myself, which at the time I was very good at. So my date shows me how to balance and directs me to a kind of ramp thing and tells me to go up it, so I do as told and go for it. Everything seems fine until I quickly realized I didn't have enough speed, and upon going up the ramp, I fell back and landed on my hand, spraining one of my wrists. Damn, that feeling still sticks with me. I wanted to scream and freak the hell out, but instead I tried to keep my cool and shrug it off. But man, did it hurt like a bitch. We stay at the park another 30 minutes and we go home, and I have to wait 3 days for my dad to pick me up from my friend's house as I was supposed to be spending the weekend there. I got home to Austin and her and I broke up, and that was that. I hadn't fully learned much from the experience, but I think I had learned that maybe I shouldn't try to force myself to be compatible with somebody even if I have a stupid kid crush on them. Wonder knowledge. Now, living in Austin, that is a different story. I somehow went from being the kid who got harassed and had only been hit on once to getting compliments and having people want to hang out with me. I guess not so buff guys with an odd sense of humor and terrible social ethic is kind of a thing here. Anyways, the dating scene had changed a bit for me when I moved here to Austin. It wasn't like I was being invited by girls I liked to see The Fault in Our Stars and they'd not even show up, which totally didn't happen and we should move on. The second worst date I ever had actually happened a few months ago. It wasn't through any fault of our own, but how the whole situation went down. So my now ex-girlfriend and I hadn't really gone on many dates since we'd sit at home and watch Malcolm in the Middle all day and didn't really have any problems with that. But I suggested that it was a normal thing couples do and that I wanted to take her somewhere and I'd pay for everything. And we did. We drove about 45 minutes up north through a place called the Domain, which if you live where I live, you'll know is a fancy place of town. The Domain is where fancy living and shopping happens. Well, sort of. I've heard their apartments are shit, but that doesn't really matter. So we go and find parking and we end up going to the sushi place. Upon walking in, no server recognizes our existence for 10 minutes, and right when we're about to find another place to go eat, we end up finally getting asked if we've been helped. A little annoyed, but trying to understand since we've both been servers, we tell the waitress no and she takes us to a seat and we're told we'll be helped shortly. Cool, good. And then another 10 to 15 minutes passes. After waiting patiently, my girlfriend gets the attention of another server and explains that we haven't been helped and it's been a while, but in the way that she's still being understanding. The server apologizes and sends another server to help us, this younger guy who seemed about our age. He seemed a little disheveled and apologizes, saying it's been really busy. We tell him it's alright and we've been there before. He takes our drink and appetizer orders and disappears into the vastness of the restaurant. It takes us another 10 fucking minutes until we see him again, and when we do, we tell him about our missing everything, and he goes and quickly brings us our drinks. Except he gets my girlfriend's drink wrong. Like, okay dude, I get you're busy, but now you're just becoming borderline irritating. We're just annoyed at this point and don't even deal with the drink situation. After another 5 minutes, our appetizer arrives and our server begins to apologize, but in a very kind of openish kind of way. I don't know, he was talking in a way that you don't exactly talk to customers, but we went along with it anyways. He started saying something along the lines of, "Yeah, I'm real sorry about that, guys. It's just I was supposed to take my lunch 10 minutes ago, but it's been busy and I haven't been able to when my manager's being a real dick." To which my girlfriend and I awkwardly replied with, "Oh yeah, that totally gets you. That really blows." He accepts in his mind that we're on his side, so he happily asks us for our order, which is fine. At least we're getting our food now, right? Absolutely fucking wrong! The man disappears with our order for over 45 minutes. Granted, we've already been here a long time just to even get our drinks. Thankfully, my girlfriend at the time and I were able to hold conversations and such, but that conversation quickly dissolved into one single topic of, where the hell is our food? So after our long wait, a miracle happens. The server comes to us. Can you believe that? We didn't even have to flag down the guy. The server has no food with him, but instead is putting on his jacket. He tells us, "Yeah, man, I'm real sorry, but the rest of the server's saying I'm being a dick and I just called my manager a fucker, so they told me to leave." I show no sympathy to this guy and he leaves. My girlfriend and I look around and see nobody in our section has their food either. This dude has been so worked up about getting his lunch break that he didn't even care if it was busy or not. He was going to pitch a fit and screw over the customers. If you're ever in food service, you'll know that sometimes it just gets busy and you don't get your breaks exactly on the dot. It happens, but your team needs you. Anyways, this super awesome guy leaves and we wait a bit hoping our orders would be done soon, so we flag down another server and tell them about our situation, and they explain our server was having a tantrum and they'll go check on our food. We finally feel this ordeal is over, but it's pretty much killed the whole date vibe at this point. That's when our new server comes over and tells us some great news. Our order was never placed. Are you fucking kidding me? The guy didn't even get our order, and I mean, come on, dude. We've been here for so long. Hours, days, weeks, months, years. I don't even know, I've lost track. My girlfriend and I are pissed. We tell the server we're just annoyed and obviously explain that we aren't annoyed with her, but the other guy, and that we're probably going to just leave. She explains that she can get our order out in 10 minutes, so yet again, we take the chance and give it only 10 more minutes. After 10 minutes, the waitress comes back and says that my order is finished, but it's a rule that it can't be served until my girlfriend's sushi is done. We ask how long that should take, and yet again, she says another 10 minutes. That was it. My girlfriend just said, "Cancel the order. Just cancel it." My ex sounds nothing like that. The server asks if we're sure, and we say yes, but when she goes to cancel the order, she ends up returning with all our food and explains it turned out to all be finished. Hungry and annoyed, but yeah, still also hungry, we take the food and just eat, talking about how frustrating the situation was. My food had also been sitting out for a while as it was barely warm, and for what they charged me for my dish, udon noodles, I could have made the dish at home for like $4 max and still be pleased, and I don't even mean that in a selfish bragging way. We end up paying for our food and leave, and honestly I felt embarrassed as I wanted to just have a good date. However, not all of it was bad. My girlfriend at the time explained that at least we'll have the memory of it to look back on one day, and well, here we are. Plus, it wasn't all that bad. We went into the shops and such in the area and had fun, so on the brighter side, at least there was that. bad situations can be somewhat alleviated depending on who you're spending that bad situation with. Anyways, when it comes to dates, not all of them are going to be perfect. You're not always going to have some spectacular night under the stars with candlelit dinners and such, but it's also not going to be all that bad. The main factor of a date is to go in with a good mindset and to not worry entirely on the date itself, but about spending a good time with who you're on the date with. Don't always try to overexert yourself, and just be yourself and be lax and go with it. But most importantly, just try and have fun. Wow, these cupcakes are looking pretty done. I honestly kinda suck when it comes to baking. It's not like I made these dudes from scratch, but cupcakes are pretty awesome. Got some chocolate cupcakes and some icing, and I'm gonna attempt to put some smiley faces on there. Oh, look at that terrible accident. Thank you lovely people for watching. This has been my first ever story video. I hope it was somewhat enjoyable. If you do like it, please let me know down below. Tell me what I can work on and such. I just remember I've been getting a lot of comments of people telling me to make a cooking video and also tell stories, so I thought I would just go for it. I'm gonna be making another normal Reddit video here pretty soon, so don't you worry, you're gonna see that floating head that haunts me in my sleep really soon. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care. And bye.